All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rekakwadash. Double honors to my apostles and elders at Great Millstone who do rule and teach well. And peace and salutations to all you Akim out there pushing this truth across the four winds so we can seal the elect and make it to the kingdom. All right, it's the brother Yurah. Lord willing, coming back to you through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai. Lord willing to feed the body and edify the sheep in all spirit, faith, truth, sincerity, and doctrine. All right. And we are back with another reality check. Okay. Because prophecy is reality and reality is prophecy. Okay. And that reality that is prophecy is a reality that everyone is going to be faced with. All right. If you haven't already. Okay. And right now, the reality that women, all right, you women in America, you Babylonian women, all right, especially you women of you Israelite women, okay, all right, you so-called blacks, Latinos, Native and Seminole Indian women, all right, are being faced with the reality, all right, of paternal fraud, okay, all right, for you men and women that never heard of or don't know what paternal fraud is, all right, it's when a parent, usually the mother, all right, lies to the court, all right, and says that the father, okay, or a man is the father of her children, and and he is not. All right, even if she knows that there's a possibility that he can't, that he is not the father, okay, it's still paternal fraud, okay, because most men, all right, are starting to get some balls and demanding a paternity test, okay, for the children. All right, once the children are born, and the women are rejecting it. Okay, you have some women out there that they fight it. All right, and because the government and the law is on their side, all right, it's nothing that a man can do. All right, you even have paternal fraud, like a woman that a man has never even met, yet alone slept with, is saying that or claiming that he is the father of her children. All right. Things like this happens all the time, man. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go into it, Lord willing. This is edifying to the body and it feeds the sheep through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai. I'm not gonna spend too much time on this. All right, but this is something that caught my attention through the spirit that I want to highlight. Okay, because this paternal fraud is something that women, all right, have been using to be comfortable here in America, man. Okay, let me do this here. Let me read this here first. All right, it's the book of Isaiah, chapter 32, and verse 9 through 11. Okay, and it reads, the woman of Jerusalem, okay, you Israelite women, okay. Verse 9, it says, you women who are, Salaki, I think this is the NIV. Let me get the KJV. Let's read the KJV first. All right, Salakia, King James Version, okay. And it reads, Isaiah 32 and 9, rise up, ye women that are at ease. All right. And you women are definitely at ease in America. Okay. And child support money is one of the ways that you women have been at ease here in America. All right. I don't have to work. I don't have to do anything. I can just, suck him dry, no pun intended, for all of his resources. Right. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. All right, because these same women, they don't care about what's right and what's wrong. Okay, they don't care about what's right and what's wrong in the eyes of Yahweh Bashem Shai. Okay, their God. Okay, the Heavenly Father Yahweh. It says, "Give ear unto my speech." Okay, which they do not. It says, "Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women." Okay, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. All right, tremble, ye women that are at ease. Be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you and make you bare. Okay, strip you of all of your, delicacies that you receive, from the government here in America, aka Babylon the Great. Okay, all right, all your comforts. It says, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. Okay, only back in the ancient times. All right, people would gird sackcloth, up, put on a sackcloth to symbolize a time of mourning. Okay, all right, sadness. You see, and you women are beyond sad at that, at this point. Now I'm gonna read the another version of this, okay, the G and T. But before that, I want to play this video. Okay, look at that face. All right, and this video here, this is free use. Okay, free use. All right, this is from Darius M. Okay, I believe it's Darius Media Network. All right, here's the channel. All right, and the name of the video is "Modern Women Are Doomed by This New Anti-Paternity Fraud Law Approval." Okay, all right, it is no longer, all right, it is no longer a thought, a fantasy, all right, it is real. Okay, so I'm gonna play this video here, all right, and then we'll stop it at a certain point and go into some more information.
For help. But I am so desperate. Y'all,
I bet you are desperate. But listen to the black women right quick. The B-dub.
Bashing me about having 7 kids and looking for somebody to help take care of them. What is the issue? As a single woman, am I supposed to just give up on life and not want to find a man that's going to help me and my kids?
What?
Yeah, nobody's going to help you and your 7 kids, man. All right. And that's what women don't realize, man. All right. Once you give up your womb to a man, all right, and you give him a child, all right, other men usually aren't interested anymore, man. Okay. All right. Look, find her a man for three of her kids, not all 7. Look, she 7 kids, and she doesn't look old. She look like she might be in her late 20s, maybe early to mid 30s, and she already has 7 kids, man. All right, and most likely by different men, and even if it is by the same man, well, why don't you work out, what you had going on with that man? Why don't you work that out? But this is how delusional our women are, man.
Am I supposed to just give up on life and not want to find a man that's going to help me and my kids?
What?
My husband got a paternity test on our 5-year-old daughter and it came back negative, and now he wants a divorce.
If you falsely accuse a man of being your baby's daddy, it's called parentage fraud, and it's no joke.
For those of you who are in Tennessee, guess what? House Bill 2689 is getting ready to pass. That is requiring paternity tests before you sign the birth certificate. Because, when people do paternity tests, 1/3 of the time, they end up not being the father. And if they start testing everybody, that number can only go up, not down. They're actually starting to jail time the ladies for maternity fraud because it is such a rampant crime. And yes, it's a crime.
It's a rampant, like he said, it's a rampant crime. Okay. A rampant crime, man. But I want to go back to something here. All right, maternity fraud. All right, it says House Bill 2689 in Tennessee, the state of Tennessee. All right, maternity fraud is a crime. Okay, and women are starting to get a jail time because of that, man. All right, you see, which is beautiful too, by the way, because that is when you defraud someone, that should be a crime, punishable. Okay. But I want to look at this up. Paternity fraud here. All right. As it pertains to the House bill. All right. Because you got people that might say, oh, that's not real. Come on. I already had it up, so I don't know why it's loading. All right. But this, you might have people on the internet that might say, oh, well, that's not real. That's just, don't believe everything on the internet. Well, you could just simply look it up. Okay. Just look it up. All right. Now I put paternity fraud law gets passed in Tennessee and it says yes. See that right there? Yes. It's not fake. It's not a fluke. It is real. Okay. It says yes, Tennessee has passed a law in 2023 that criminalizes paternity fraud. All right. Now, even though this is in 2023, all right, you can see, you can go on YouTube and the internet and see lots and lots of videos that are popping up speaking about this. All right, in 2025, as of today, and why? Well, we're going to find out towards the end of this lesson. All right, I'm going to point something out, but first, let's get back to this. So, yes, Tennessee passed a law in 2023 that criminalizes paternity fraud. Okay. And only people that commit paternity fraud are women. Okay. It says here's what the law HB 253 or SB 331 states. All right. It's a class B misdemeanor. Okay. To establish someone as the biological parent or the biological father of a child with the intent to deprive the actual biological parent of their parental rights. Okay. Now, this bill. Okay, just so you can further know that it is true. All right, I looked it up. Okay, so let's take a look at it here. Okay, this is from fastdemocracy.com. Okay, as you can see, all of these different bills and actions and documents, right? But this is the SB 331 bill. All right, it says Tennessee Senate bill. See, all right, introduced on January 23rd, 2023, passed the Senate March 20th the same year, passed the House of Representatives April 6th the same year, and signed into law April 24th of that same year, 2023. Okay. All right, so that SB 331 law or bill, okay, it is criminal offenses. All right, as enacted, established a Class B misdemeanor of parentage fraud. Okay, and there's the titles there. Okay, so this is a actual bill that actually got passed in the law. Okay, if you ever want to know if it's an actual bill or a law that has been passed that people are talking about on the internet, well, you have to go to the government's website. Okay, to actually see if it's true or not. Okay. So as you can see, here is the document. It is true. Okay. So let's go back here. Okay. All right. Let's see. Yeah. So you women. So pretty much to sum it up, I'm not going to read all of this. You can pause it and read it. But to sum it all up, okay, you women that are at ease, all right, can no longer be at ease or comfortable here in America. All right, pinning your child on a man that you know is not the father. Okay. And that's the reason why I wanted to highlight that, man. All right. Because that is a blessing to men. Okay. And I know a lot of brothers, all right, with some brothers here within this truth. Okay. Some Israelite brothers that are, victim to this. Okay. Paying child support, crazy amounts of child support. Hey, the water Yahweh Shemel was shy. I don't have any biological kids. The Lord blessed me there. So the water, but I still feel for our brethren that go through this exact thing. Okay. Now, matter of fact, before I get that, let me read this. Okay. Now I want to read this Isaiah 32, verse 9 through 11, but I want to read it in the GNT. Okay. The Good News Translation. All right. So the book of Isaiah, chapter 32, verse 9 through 11, Good News Translation, it says, look, judgment and restoration. Right. Verse 9, it says, you women who live an easy life. All right. How do you live an easy life? Okay. Free from worries. All right. Listen to what I am saying. Okay. Easy life or easy living, free from worries. All right. Because you don't have to go to work. You don't have to break your back to support, your illegitimate children. Okay. All right, your bastard children, as I should say, because you really don't know who the father is. Most women don't know who the father of their children are because they've been on a cock carousel, as Elder Malcolm says. All right, verse 10, it says, you may be satisfied now. All right, you may be satisfied now, right? Because you're still comfortable. It says, but this time next year you will be in despair because there will be no more grapes for you to gather. Okay. All right. Gathering grapes, is in this case is synonymous, with you could say gathering income. Okay. All right. Gathering comfortabilities. All right. Gathering food stamps, gathering, more child support. Right. Because a woman can be getting child support. All right. And then get hear through the grapevine per se that her baby's father, or at least the man that she says is the father of her child, is making more money, and she can take him to court and get some more money. And usually judges actually give them the increase, you know? So they're taking more money from the man. All right. But this is how wicked this society is, because as it is written in what is that, the book of Proverbs chapter 29. All right. The second verse. All right. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. Okay, the righteous are the Israelites. All right, but when the wicked beareth rule, all right, the people mourn. Okay, all right, and look, even as Israelites, we're in a state of mourning. All right, because we're being oppressed. The people is constantly being oppressed by the wicked. Okay, which is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, woman, and child, beginning with the elite banking families. Okay. And child support is illegal within itself. Do your research. Okay. That is a foreign a law. Okay. The child support is not a law. All right. That was established here in America. Okay. That is a foreign law. Okay. Which is against the law for it to be put upon the people of a whole nother nation, or a whole nother country. Okay. But let's continue. Do your own research on that. All right, verse 11, it says, you have been living an easy life, free from worries, but now tremble with fear. See, what am I gonna do? Please help me. Because look, men of the Lord, we understand that when society collapses, these men are not gonna know what to do. Okay, the scriptures prophesy that these men, all right, who were once looked at as a mighty men. All right. They're going to have their hands on their loins like women, scared as shit in that time, not knowing what to do. So imagine what you women are going to be doing. If the men are going to be scared, what are you think you're going to be strong? You're going to be okay? You see, you women walk around and say you don't need men while getting help from the government, which is ran by men, right? No. What you're saying is you don't need help from your men, the men of your nation, right? But while simultaneously getting help from the so-called white man. You see, Esau, Edom. All right. But you're going to be stripped from that. See, look, strip off your clothes and tie rags around your waist. Okay. Be in a state of mourning. Okay. Cry. All right. Now let's go back here. Finish this off before I get to this here.
Can only go up, not down. They're actually starting to jail time the ladies for maternity fraud because it is such a rampant crime. And yes, it's a crime.
Hallelujah. This needs to go nationwide, but at least it's the first step. Progress, not perfection. But in the meantime, I advise any male that I know to get yourself a DNA kit and swab that child's mouth, because you'd be surprised just how many of those kids belong to another man.
I bought a Chanel bag with my child support money and everybody is upset. Child support is reimbursement for the money that I already waste on my...
Yeah, bro. let's run that back. She said that she spent her child support money on a Chanel bag. And see, this is what, men that are victims of this child support, this is what they go through, man. All right. The mother of your children puts you on child support. A couple of weeks later, and all of a sudden you see this woman and glowed up. She got a new car, she got a new man, she got new shoes, got a new Chanel bag, right? And the kids are just busted down, dusty, dirty, hungry. You see, this is what happens, man. Just right out of her mouth.
He is upset. Child support is reimbursement for the money that I already waste on my kids. So me.
She just slipped right past that. I hope brothers heard that. She said child support is just reimbursement for the money I already waste on my kids. She claims she wastes money on her kids, man. This is why women should never be the head of the household, man. Ever. You see? Never be head of the household, man. All right. The man is supposed to be the head of the household. All right. The logical one. You see? These women are not logical, not at all. But they're so damn delusional that they believe that they're logical. It's crazy, man.
Me buying a Chanel bag, it evens out. I am not going to be saving my child support money for college. What if they don't even go to college? I'm not going to make them go to college if they don't want to. So I'm going to be saving all that money for what? We are living in the moment. Tomorrow is not promised. So we're going to have fun with that money. Well, I'm going to have fun with that money.
A few moments later.
Child support court update. So I had court again today because a new judge was assigned to the case. If you don't know, I get $3,700 of child support every month, and I
$3,700, bro. That is ridiculous, man. And she said that's reimbursement for the money she already wastes on her kids. I guarantee she's not spending $3,700 a month on her kids. I guarantee it. But she's spending that money that has been taken from that man, that $3,700. She's spending that on herself.
I use it on myself. I don't use it on my kids. The old judge that was assigned to our case was okay with me spending, the child support on myself because he clearly said it was just reimbursement for what I have been spending on my children. But the judge today was not having none of that shit, and she completely took me off of child support.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
You definitely played yourself. And call halal y'all by Shemel Shai. All right. And notice she said that the first judge was a man that allowed her to grape her children's father's pockets. But the judge that actually stripped her of that was a woman. Beautiful.
So Trump passed a law stating that whoever pays child support get to file that child on the taxes. Pardon me?
Just to be told.
Yeah, we ain't got to watch no more of this. I mean, if you want to watch the rest of it, like I said, it's Darius M. All right. And the name of the video, Modern Women Are Doomed. All right. By this new anti-paternity fraud law approval. Okay. We can watch the rest of it yourself. I don't feel like hearing the rest of this stuff. But what I said, I wanted to show you at the end of the video, and then we'll wrap it up. All right. As you can see, Google, I put here, are more states in the United States taking action for parentage fraud, okay, or paternal fraud, okay? And it said what? You see that? Yes, 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 yes. All right. So yes, there appears to be a growing awareness and action concerning a paternity fraud in the United States. Okay. Several factors contribute to this trend. Okay. Increased public awareness. Okay. Legal actions and proposals. Okay. Focus on children's well-being, because as you heard the woman, all right. Oh, that's just her. That ain't all women. Most women have that same mindset, or even worse. when it comes to receiving that child support money. They don't spend it on the kids. All right. And guess what? These states, all right, are aware of it. Okay. Focusing on children's well-being. Okay. All right. So this is what's happening, okay? But I want to just highlight this here. Yes, there appears to be a growing awareness and action concerning paternity fraud in the United States. So that's just in Tennessee, all right, back in 2023. But you have President Nero or Donald Trump, okay? It is he made a promise to actually cut the spending in certain areas. And guess what? A lot of you women, all right, have been comfortable here in America, man, getting the wasted financial aid, okay, coming through what is that? A public housing, coming through extra crazy amounts of SNAP benefits, okay. Getting hired for jobs that you don't even qualify for, just because of your nationality or your skin tone. All right, to bring diversity into companies and all that crap. You see, all of that. Trump is saying, nah, we cutting that. All right, and now, as promised, all right, here comes the child support about to be cut. All right. So call halal y'all Bashim Shai, man. That's beautiful. Okay. So I'm gonna end it there. Lord willing, is edifying to the body and it fed the sheep through the spirit and power. All right, of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Shalom, and Abba Ball.